talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Yes, indeed. Let's talk. This is for all crafts that are going to be involved with getting some retroactive pay. Now, you just saw me do a video about why it could be good and why it could be bad and why I think that some people don't know what to do with the lump sums of money. But there's going to be some people that say, well, I can't figure out how to calculate it, and that's what Jay's going to do. I did a video about a year ago and tried to give some weird numbers, or 2 years ago back when I had the long beard, and people don't go back in the video, so I figured I'd do one again to explain to you how easy it is to calculate your back pay, your retroactive pay. I am lying. It is not easy whatsoever, but at least you'll have an idea on why the hell it takes so long when you're sitting there waiting for your retroactive pay. All right. Number one is you need to identify the retroactive period. The effective date, determine the date from which the new pay rates apply. So if you got a specific, now this ain't no quick video. This ain't no quick video where I'm gonna just spoon feed you bullshit. This is facts. All right. You got to determine the date from which the new rates will be applied. So whatever union you're with, there will be something on the website that says the new pay rates start at this date. And then the end date, this is the date that the new rates are officially implemented. Okay? So if it starts on January 1st, but it isn't implemented until November 1st, that's the period of time you have to go back in. You have to calculate the difference in pay rates. The old pay rate, the rate before the new contract or pay increase, and then the new pay rate, the rate after the new contract or the new increase. Then you gotta get the difference. Subtract the old pay rate from the new pay rate to find the difference. This is just an example. If the old pay rate was $9 an hour and now you're getting $10 an hour, the difference is $1, right? Cool. Then you have to determine the hours that you worked, the regular hours, the total regular hours worked during the retroactive pay period. That means every single day. That doesn't mean that there's overtime. No. It's every hour that you worked during that retroactive period. If you're in the National Association of Letter Carriers, right now, everything that you're working right now is a retroactive period. Okay? That's what it is. Then you have to do your overtime hours. Total overtime hours worked during the retroactive period as well. So from January to November, whatever overtime, you have to calculate that as well. Then you got to calculate the retroactive pay. The regular pay, multiply the difference in pay rate by the number of hours worked. Wild example. So like we said, $1. Now, if you work 400 hours in that short period of time, then you get $400, right? Right. Easy. I'm just using figures. Then you got to think about your overtime pay. Multiply the difference in the pay rate by the number of hours worked overtime, considering the overtime multiplier. Usually a time and a half, right? Then there's the leave pay. You also accumulate that as well. Multiply the difference in pay rate by the number of paid leave hours. All that as well. Because even though you left, let's say you took your vacation and you wasn't there, you still get paid for that. Then you have to sum up the total retroactive pay. Add the amounts from the regular pay, the overtime pay, and the leave pay to get the total retroactive pay due. Now for us, as well as for the APWU, as well as the National Association of Letter Carriers, we also get the Sunday premium if you worked on a Sunday. We also get night differential pay. There's a lot of different factors. Think about that. All these different factors. So anything night differential between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m., you got to look up the difference there. And you get the 25% extra on Sunday. That's a Sunday premium. There's a lot going on with this. All right. So let's say an old postal worker had a pay rate of $25 per hour and the new pay rate is $27 per hour with the retroactive period covering 100 regular hours, 20 overtime hours, and 10 leave hours. The difference of pay rate between 27 and 25 is $2 per hour. The regular pay is 100 hours times $2 an hour, which come up to $200. The overtime pay is 20 hours times that $2 an hour times 1.5 equals $60. Then you got the leave pay, which was 10 hours times 2, which equals $20. The total retroactive pay is 200 plus 60 plus 20, which equals 280. Additional considerations. We ain't done yet, cousin. The COLA, the cost of living adjustments, if applicable. These adjustments are also factored into the retroactive pay. If you receive the COLA between the time your contract ended, when they agreed to something, and the time you actually getting paid, they have to factor that in too. Step increases, because that's what we get. If workers moved up a step paid during the retroactive period, this change is included in the calculations as well. That's why I said there's no way, unless you're a pure genius, will you ever think this through. I know you guys expect, 15, 20 people up top to figure it out. The union agreements. Specific terms from the union agreements, such as those from the APWU, may affect the calculations as well. So the APWU may say, okay, well, we'll accept XYZ, and then this time you'll accept XYZ. There are, again, so many factors. And when you take all those factors and you start calculating them, you got to remember, there's tax coming out of them. There's anything that you're taxed on right now in your regular check will be taxed on a bi-weekly basis. Like every one of those weeks that you haven't been paid will be put out. It'll be pay period 1-1, pay period 2-1-1, pay period 3, blah, 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 pay period so on and so forth. And you're going to have a bunch of adjustments underneath there. And you're going to look at them and you're going to be so pissed. It's going to say 200 one week. It might say $30 the next week. I'm just giving random figures. But again, this is going to be so complicated. Your mind's going to blow up. You're going to be so pissed. You're going to be like, I made $4,000 and now I only got $2,000. They done taxed me on everything. That's what happens every single time. And the date that they come out with, nobody knows. Don't let nobody tell you. The only time you'll know is when it shows up in the union, whatever union is, it'll show up on their website. And that's truth behind it. So calculating your retroactive pay is not a thing that anybody really can figure out yourself unless you have unless you're an accountant and you have every figure that you've ever worked, which you could, but you have to have every single hour that you worked and then try to play calculating. And then remember, they're not just doing everybody in the APWU. They're doing everybody in the APWU. They're doing everybody in the NALC. They got some work to do, Lucy. Plus, they're also going to be paid. They also got to do the everyday people that, this guy got let go for 4 months and they brought him back. He's going to get his back pay. So many things go on behind the scenes. No excuses for it. That's just what's happening, all right? This is JH. Dropping some knowledge. That's knowledge. That's how they spell it. It's weird, isn't it? English language. And I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.